What's going on, nerds? Welcome back. Comic Book Nerd Nation, episode 170. I'm Fox2. We got Pirate.
Hey.
That's what's up. Yeah, it's just me and you again. Sorry we didn't have an episode last week, guys. Everybody was just busy. First week in 170 weeks, 169 weeks in a row without missing a single Wednesday episode. I think we deserve a little bit of a break on last week. So, just life got in the way and we just couldn't swing it. And yeah, that's sorry.
I was available.
Yeah, you were I think you were the only one that was available and didn't have the capacity to record, which is the challenge. But that's all right. We're back. I'm sure nobody's going to hate us for it. So it just makes you that much more eager this week.
There was probably only 5 people that even noticed.
Yeah, I mean,
if that.
what do they say? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Now you just want us twice as bad, baby.
There you go.
That's it. So Topher is on vacation this week. I think he'll be back for next episode. Brian is just flat out MIA. I have no idea where he's at. I really thought he was going to be on today, but I guess not. So what's new with you, man? Anything, any new acquisitions or?
I've just been dick deep in
just been balling out of control.
Just with the all the old emulator video games I've been playing.
Yeah.
Got me a 64 controller with a USB on the end. Fucking, I'm like, PlayStation what? Like, just no, like any 8-bit NES games. I've played games that I haven't. What's weird is 90% of the games that I've been playing, I actually owned at one point, or still have somewhere at my parents' house. But I forgot how fucking hard
old video games
were.
Oh my god! Super hard.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I remember I was playing. I played both the Goonies. I got all the Mega Mans or Mega Man. And then there was one game that I completely forgot about until because I ordered a Nintendo Switch. So they have the new game. It's the Master Blaster. They redid, then it's for the Switch. And I was like, fuck, I forgot about that game. So I went back and looked it up, and I haven't played it yet, but I dropped it in my fucking emulator. I got the ROM for it, and I'm like stoked about playing that shit because I remember renting that game. I never owned that one, but I rented the fuck out of it, and it was the coolest game ever because you'd jump out of a little tank and
some of the games that I remember playing on those old fucking things that we have an original Nintendo, and some of these games I would buy them, but man, they're so fucking expensive.
Oh yeah,
Nemo's Dream World. We have that one. That's a really good one for regular Nintendo. Battletoads.
Battletoads.
That one's like $150 to buy that game.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you know
DuckTales is another one.
DuckTales and DuckTales 2.
And Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. That was an awesome game too.
Yeah. DuckTales 2. I didn't know this. One of the guys that I play music with, Dave, he's a video game collector and seller and stuff. And he was telling me, and I had no idea about this, but back then they had exclusives that were only available for rental. You couldn't buy them. Yeah. DuckTales 2 was one of them. It was like a Blockbuster exclusive.
Yeah, it was a Blockbuster. On the label, it said Blockbuster, up the side. I remember those.
Oh, okay, yeah. And so, he was telling me those games right now, if you try to find those, he's like, they're fucking so expensive. Yeah, they're so expensive. But yeah, I just got lucky. I have a cousin who works out in California, and for I can't remember what. I think it's Voodoo or something like that. He's big into computers and computer gaming for a long time, and he's collected tons of ROMs. And he just sent me his fucking link to his Google Drive and was like, "Here you go." I'm like, "Oh fuck!" I'm like, "Here goes my life."
I'm gonna have to get that.
It's literally every ROM, every Nintendo,
man, you were
even
talking
Game
about,
Boy Advance.
Before we got on here, you were talking about playing Ocarina of Time. I just remember back, and the funny thing about you mentioning that is my wife and I were just 2 days ago talking about, we already have a Nintendo, we have PS, or we have a Nintendo, a Super Nintendo, PS3, two PS4s, and we just added Rock Band, which I gotta have you over sometime to play. We got the drums and the fucking guitar and the microphone and shit. Super fun. We bought a bunch of the songs for that, and then we were just talking the other day about how much we need to get a Nintendo 64, and I was like, she likes like Mario Kart and stuff. I was never big on Mario Kart personally. That wasn't.
I like Mario Kart.
I mean, it was okay, but some people were like balls deep into that and Super Smash Brothers. For me, that wasn't a big thing. The two games that I remember that I really, really loved, that I told her I was like, we got to get these if we get it, is Ocarina of Time, because that was just super, super fun, and then Mario 64, just the regular Mario game. I loved it. It was such a neat twist at the time when it came out. You know, the whole fucking 3-dimensional world of Mario versus the just side scroller was a game changer. I mean, it was so much different.
Yeah, the only game that I ever played for 64 was Ocarina of Time. Like, I lived in Florida for a few months, like 6 months.
You never
or so
played? You never played GoldenEye?
I forgot. GoldenEye.
That was the big
I did
one.
Play GoldenEye.
Fox One and I played GoldenEye all the time, and After Dark was the other one.
I remember the name of that one because my buddy had one, and we used to play it at his house in high school. And then, but like, what was crazy is when I lived in Florida, my aunt lived with me, and she had one. And it was literally the only game she had was Zelda at Ocarina of Time, and she never played it. But I had nothing else to do in this house. It fucking drove. I was going crazy. So I finally was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to play this." And I played it, and I was so into it.
Perfect Dark. That was the name of it. That's funny.
Perfect Dark. Okay.
You know what? I just Googled best N64 games, and the first 5 that come up: GoldenEye, Super Mario 64, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Perfect Dark, and Mario Kart 64.
Nice. I remember there was a Star Wars game.
Oh, how about Wave Race?
I don't remember that one.
The jet ski?
Is that the jet ski? Yeah, I do remember that one. But there was one for Star Wars. It was a pod racer.
Yep, there's a pod racer. Star Fox 64 was another good one. Diddy Kong Racing. I liked that one better than Mario Kart Racing. There was 1080 snowboarding. I don't know if you remember that one.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that one.
There was Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
Was it?
Turok Dinosaur Hunter. You remember that? Where you had the fucking
remember that one.
The bow and arrow, and you were hunting fucking dinosaurs.
I think PS1.
Yeah. Because that was one of the late N64 games that crossed over with PlayStation and stuff. And then there was Turok 2: Seeds of Evil. Excite Bike 64, but I don't remember really playing that one, to be honest.
I just remember Excite Bike from NES, the 8-bit.
WCW versus NWO Revenge.
I remember that one. My buddy had that one. Yeah, Sting. You could bring Sting in from like the fucking rafters and shit. Yeah. And
then the obvious Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Man, I was PlayStation with that all day long.
Oh man.
Like I couldn't if you had I never played a Tony Hawk on any other system but the PlayStation. Actually, no, I take that back. I played one. What was the one I used to have when we lived together for 360? Was it Proving Ground?
Oh, that was
Project.
Yeah,
Tony Hawk
that was like
Pro Project or something.
It was like Tony Hawk. That was one of the newer ones.
Yeah, it was for like Proving Ground.
Tony Hawk series. Let's see here. It was games. Underground.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, because there was Pro Skater 2, 3, and 4, then Underground in 2003. No, you had... I know what you had. There was Underground, then Underground 2, then American Wasteland, then Project 8, then Proving Ground.
Yeah, that's the one I had.
You had. Yeah. And then Pro Skater 5 came out just 2 years ago in 2015. I heard that one was really terrible, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't touched one since Proving Ground.
Yeah, I haven't touched any of the Tony Hawk games in a long, long time.
They were fun, but it just became like a button mashing machine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I ended up liking EA Skate 2.
That one was. I think I have Skate 2
We
for PS3.
Me and some of the guys that we play with will every once in a while throw it in, and I think there's actually a YouTube video that I made, like a mashup of some cool tricks that we did. I think the neat thing about that game was that it was really difficult. Like it was
Like
much more
skateboarding.
realistic in the fact of like if you pulled off a cool trick, like it was probably pretty hard and you had to try it a bunch of times. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like you weren't just gonna like you weren't gonna do like a 1080 blunt slide down a fucking kinked rail or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just to do the blunt slide on a handrail was hard enough. Like it was. I thought that added a lot to it. Like
You needed. Yeah, there was a lot of precision control work, like to play it.
Yeah,
I remember that.
It was it was difficult. It was fun. I like that one. Yeah, I actually that's a big part of the reason why I kept my PS3 is Where's Jeffy and myself and a couple like his brother and his roommate will every once in a while plug in our PS3s and play. The servers are still up on it. They don't support them, but it's not like all hacked up or anything. You just can't get all of the achievements and stuff anymore, which is no big deal. But it's super fun.
Nice.
But yeah, that's one game that, like you said earlier, again, I think before we were recording, it's crazy when you go back and play some of these really old games, how hard they were, how much more difficult the older video games are than the newer video games. It's, like you pop in a new Call of Duty. I guarantee you right now, I've never played the newest Call of Duty. I could put it in and put it on regular difficulty and I could sit down and beat it in one sitting in a day. No problem. The story mode.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt. Not a problem at all.
Yeah.
But some of these regular Nintendo games.
Well, another
I'm
problem
telling
is like,
I was playing
You
Mike Tyson's Punch Out the other night.
oh shit. Yeah.
Man, I remember I used to be able to get really far in that game. I think I've even beaten it a couple times as a kid. Now, I couldn't get past like the fourth dude.
Well, here's the thing though too, like then you sit down and you played a game. Like you said, if you jumped on Call of Duty right now, played it on regular, you could sit it and beat it in one sitting. Yes, you could. But on those old NES games and 16 and shit like that, like Super Nintendo, you had no choice. The only way you were beating it is to sit down and do it in one sitting.
It had to be in one sitting.
That's it.
There was no memory.
Yeah, and if you died 3 times,
That's
you
it.
know what I mean?
Start
You had
over.
like 2 continues, and then that's it.
You're done.
Like, yeah. So
Kids these days don't know the struggle.
like they say they beat a game, you don't beat a game
No,
anymore.
You don't know.
just
You don't know
finish
what
a
it is to beat a game.
Yeah.
You don't know unless you plugged in an old NES. You don't know what it is to beat a game because it's tough. I mean, it was like a badge of honor if you could beat any game, even Mario, the original Mario. If you could beat Mario, that was a badge of honor. Why? Because you only get so many lives, motherfucker.
Yeah, but Mario though, once you know the warps and shit like that,
Even
it wasn't
still.
hard.
Even
And then
still,
the 30
you get to
or
that-
the 99 lives.
even still, man, it gets pretty tough towards the end. Especially like Super Mario, forget about it. You get towards the end, and you got like tons of lives and saves on that one. You can save and come back.
Wait,
Super
Mario.
Super
Mario
Nintendo.
Brothers? Super Nintendo. Yeah, no.
Super Mario Brothers, not Mario Brothers.
Yeah. That's the one where they had the fucking crazy fucking
The
booze and
boats.
shit. Yeah.
The boats with the fucking cannons and shit on them.
Yeah.
Forget about it, dude. I'm
I
telling
remember that
you.
one.
All right. Well, enough reliving the days of the past for now. Let's talk some news. Man, this first one kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. I don't like it. Jared Leto is in talks for a Tron reboot.
Wow.
Yeah, like I didn't mind Jared Leto as the Joker. I thought he did a pretty decent job. I didn't necessarily love the portrayal of the Joker that they picked for Suicide Squad, but I thought he did an okay job at playing the portrayal that he was given. Man, why they gotta fuck up? So you had the original Tron, which was awesome.
The
Then
best of them all.
Then you had Tron Legacy, which was really, really good too.
It was alright.
I mean, it was right there with Tron. In my opinion, I thought it was really well done. Stuck with the original storyline and just built on it. It was super cool. They had a script to follow that up with another one, and they never used it. And now this is apparently going to pull from that unused script, but reboot the series at the same time. So I don't know. Like, I don't understand why you have to go and, like, why you got to go and fuck with that. Like, why can't you just keep doing originals in the series? You know,
I'll get behind it if Jeff Bridges is in it.
He's not. You know, he's not gonna be.
I'm just why he still is an actor. And he still plays in movies.
Yeah, but it's a reboot. It's a complete reboot.
But then I thought you said they're continuing from that script.
Here, I'll read it to you. I'll read the Disney is in the early stages of a Tron reboot starring Jared Leto as the star, according to the Hollywood Reporter. The script is reportedly based on an unused script for a follow-up to 2010's Tron Legacy, but would not be a direct sequel.
No.
Jared Leto is reportedly in talks to play a character named Ares. Not much else is known about the reported story, or if it will have any ties to previous Tron films.
I don't know. That's one of those ones I'm going to have to wait and see more on it.
No,
I'm not really.
I don't like it.
I'm not really.
Like it. I loved Tron Legacy. I thought Tron Legacy was a great follow-up to, you know, for doing it decades later. It was a great follow-up to stick with they stuck with the timeline. You know, almost as like the actual amount of time passed between the two films was the real time within the story as well. So it fit as why it was, you know, decades later. Well, it was decades later because the kid's growing up, nothing happened with it, and now all of a sudden something's happening. They made that work, and it was really cool, and the visual effects were stunning, I thought.
Well, I mean, it's Tron, dude. You can't have that movie without visual effects.
It's dope. Super dope.
I just remember, you know what? I need to go back and watch Legacy because I remember the last time I watched it, which I think was the only time, was when me and you, was when I was over there in Fairfield, and we was downstairs watching it. We was fucking pissed drunk on fucking Sailor or Kraken or something.
Probably.
And fucking, I remember watching it, and I just remember a couple scenes from it. But
come on over sometime.
Yeah.
Come on over. We'll throw it on and crank it up.
Get pissed drunk again and fucking
shit faced and forget about it all.
Have the same memories of all.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be fucking great. Now this one I am actually excited about. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the animated series, is getting a classic 2D reboot in 2018. Whoa. So they're rebooting the animated series from our childhood, but they're doing it in a classic 2D style. They're not making it that new like 3D cartoon style that stuff is.
Nice.
So and it says the current CGI Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will have one final season, premiering in March 19th. Fall of 2018, there'll be a 26 episode first season of the classic remake. That's awesome. It's going to be the classic fucking teenage, 2D cartoon.
Here's my question with that is okay. Who are they marketing that to? Are they marketing
kids.
It to...
It's on Nickelodeon.
Okay. So are kids going to be as thrilled as we are to see that? Or is this going to be a short-lived thing?
My son's going to watch it.
Well, yeah, your son's also not born yet.
Well, it's not coming out in fall of 2018. He'll be a year and a half old.
I'm sure they're not going to the demographic they're going to be targeting is the 1-year-old section. But I'm talking about the 7 to 11-year-olds. Is this going to captivate them the way as much as we're going to be interested in it? Because that's going to probably determine if it's a long-term or a short-term thing.
I don't know, but my guess is that they're targeting people our age that have kids that are 5, 6 years old and will sit down and watch the cartoon with their children.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Because
but I think it's more that there's more parents that set their kid in front of a TV than actually watch what their kid's watching.
That's true. I would say that's true, but I would also argue that people our age would be more apt to sit down and watch this show with them versus some other fucking whatever that was just made up, because this also reminds them of their childhood.
Well, and I don't disagree with that, but I'm just saying I think that's few and far between the amount that the demo. I don't think that's for them to put an entire marketing campaign.
Here's what the president of Nickelodeon said. The Turtles is a property that has reinvention in its DNA, which keeps it fresh and relevant to every new generation while satisfying the demand from its adult fans.
That's kind of... That doesn't really... I mean, that could mean anything. That could just mean, like, just having Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show in of itself is someone reliving their childhood.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's a good thing.
I'm stoked to see what they do with it. I hope it's good, and I hope if it is good, it's long term. But I just know that my standards of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show being good is very different than a 10-year-old's probably version of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show being good. And if that's their main marketing,
I would really hope that would be true. Yes.
I'm just saying, that's their main marketing demographic.
I would really hope that you're not looking for the same things in a television show as a 10-year-old.
I mean,
if you are, then maybe there's some bigger issues.
It's not that few and far between, though. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, the whole nostalgic thing is to make us feel like, we're 10 years old again watching it. Remember being 10 years old watching it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Logan came out in theaters. Neither one of us have seen it yet.
Even if we had, we would wait till the full review for the full panel to get everybody's opinions on that.
Yeah, I'm still not going to see it.
I'm going to see it.
I refuse.
I might see it this weekend.
I refuse to put money into this film because they didn't put money into their special effects. I can't get past the fucking wire fighting scenes. Like when they're jumping and it's like 1990s technology. Like
if you hadn't brought that up, I probably wouldn't even noticed it though.
Oh, it's terrible though. I mean, but now it's the only thing that you can see. You're gonna know it every single time.
Oh no! Every time I watch the trailers, I see it now. Yeah,
it just looks like the original X-Men movie from the fucking 90s or whenever that was. It doesn't look good at all. It's subpar for today's superhero movies, in my opinion, for as far as fight scenes go. Yes, this might be a story that's driven around characters and not around some supervillain world-ending scenario. Yes, it's the gritty, bloody, throat-slashing Wolverine that we've always wanted. But what the fuck? Why? Like, if you're gonna go to that extent to make a good story, to make the character the way that you want the character, why would you skip short on the fucking special effects?
See, here's where we disagree at. I am a firm believer that story trumps special effects every time, which is why I can watch movies from the 1930s no problem and still, like, I've on repeat, still just find myself completely engulfed with a story. I don't need special effects.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Okay. I don't need special effects either, but in a movie in this category, in a movie that is typified by its special effects performance, you can't have a superhero I mean, it's basically a superhero, supernatural action movie. Can you imagine them making an Avengers movie that came out next week with only using technology from the 90s?
You know what's crazy
is they make terrible.
But they make Avengers stories, Wolverine stories, all these great stories with zero special effects. You know where they're at?
They're in
the fucking comics. Exactly.
Yeah.
So why does I don't think special effects are everything. I think people really, yes, they're nice.
I'm not saying it's everything. I'm just saying it's industry standard now, though.
I disagree with the industry standard and something. I think story it will always trump. Now, the thing that sets me back on a movie when I'm watching it is when I see like live action and it literally looks like someone drew in some type of special effect, like like it just completely different. Like
Yeah.
it takes me out there. But I mean, as far as like wire harnessing and explosion and stuff like that, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you could have probably wrote it and it still be considered a good movie with a good story without even using wires. We just have him leaping at somebody and stabbing him in the neck. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. I think that people are getting too hyped up on this.
Saying. That's what I'm saying, though. Okay, so I will expand on what you just said, and I'm agreeing with you in the fact that I would have rather had them not use any special effects for the jumping at all. No wires, no CGI, no none of that, and just had him leaping like a fucking person instead of this like really unbelievable like floating jumps, like where he just like takes off fast and then just kind of glides, and we're supposed to believe that that's how he jumps. Like he's not a fucking flying squirrel. I don't.
In all actuality, though, I mean, there has been tons of times where they've released trailers, and they've not had full special effects for those scenes in trailers. There's been several times where they had like, trailers where they'll throw the shit out there, but it's not like the movie quality of what they're, you know what I mean? Like maybe not in this situation. It could not be. I'm just giving it the benefit of the doubt, saying that it is a possibility that what we've seen as far as special effects in the trailer may not have made it to the final floor with the movie.
I mean, so, it's possible, but
I think before we like really give it a harsh bash, I think we should at least see it. I'm all for seeing it. I think the story concept is awesome.
I'll see it if somebody else buys my fucking ticket. I'm just not. I refuse to support something that is clearly cutting corners, and they're going to be charging everyone full price for the tickets. It's ridiculous. It would be like going to the fucking automobile, going to the car lot, buying a car, paying full price for a 2017 car, and getting a fucking 1997 Toyota Corolla. Not going to do it. Wouldn't do it.
I think that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I get your point.
Same thing. Ain't gonna do it. Ain't gonna do it.
Just do what the other 70% of the people probably do. Just fire stick it or download it or do something other version like.
As far as movies I do want to see, you watched the Pirates of the Caribbean trailer.
Yep.
This movie looks like an awesome, exciting end to the to that franchise. I loved the young Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, it was interesting seeing him in that scene.
He's like all like clean shaven and like baby faced, looking like he's about 18 years old.
Oh, he's probably younger than that. I mean, realistically, he's probably like 13. I mean, you got to think people usually started pirating pretty young at that age.
Get them going. I don't know. What did you think of the trailer as a whole?
I thought it was interesting. I like the new character. I think he looks pretty cool. The concept of the Spanish captain hunting the war with the Spanish and the privateers. I'm sure they're probably going to have that in there. But I thought it was really interesting with he's not fighting like before. It was always him against like England or him against the East India trade, or it was never really. And then Stranger Tide was the one with Blackbeard in it. That was fucking weird. But this one, it's a different take. You got the Spanish, Armada in there now, and it doesn't seem like it's about treasure. It looks like this, from what I've gathered, it's all about just Jack's the one being hunted, and he's just trying to stay alive, which it's kind of had its take on a few other ones, I guess. What was the one where Davy Jones was at? Was it Dead Man Tell No Tale, and then where he was basically being hunted?
This one's Dead Man. No,
Dead Man's Chest. Dead Man's Chest.
Yeah.
which was the second one where he was being hunted, and then the third one was when they were fighting against him and shit, and World's End. But yeah, I think and now this is a movie, and this is a franchise, I should say, that is all about special fucking effects.
Oh yeah.
Like there's
100%.
one thing that you can't like now. If they took away special effects in this movie, they don't have a story substance. But this movie, goddamn, the special effects have always been amazing since the first one, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Like they have went above and beyond everything special effects related. Like from any other movie frame other than Star Wars, I can't think of anything that's really like pushed special effects envelopes.
Lord of the Rings.
And I would have thought that until the Hobbit series came out. And then I felt they went backwards a little bit.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that statement. The Hobbit movies were really not that great. The first one was good, the second one was not good at all, and the third one was okay.
See, now I thought the second one was a little better than the first one.
I liked the first one because it was more character driven.
Yeah, but I think the second one it like brought in more important characters that set up for the third one. When they was in the town, and then you had the guy whose grandfather missed the arrow or something like that, or shot the last arrow to kill kill Smaug or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the whole lineage of it, but like
I really. Oh, as a whole, I didn't enjoy the Hobbit trilogy. I have only watched each movie one time. Would I go back and watch them again? Maybe. But the Lord of the Rings trilogy is one that every once in a blue moon, about once a year, my wife and I will sit down and watch the trilogy.
Now, you think the special effects are better in that than they are in Pirates of the Caribbean franchise?
Not better, but as good, I would say.
Man.
I mean, man, you got to think all those orcs.
But see, a lot of
all
those,
the magic, the fire monster.
If you look at a lot of those, like what I am more impressed with is not so much the special effects in the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings trilogy, specifically the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
I mean, obviously the story is the fucking.
Well, I mean, it's Tolkien, but no, but like my biggest thing that I'm more impressed with overall is not so much the special effects and the video effects, but the trick photography they used. You know what I mean?
And that's
the movement of cameras.
That's part of what I consider, and that's part of what I consider special effects. Like, I would put that in this. I know it's not the same thing, but I would put that in the same basket of what I'm talking about. That
but now
adds
I think
to the technical aspects of the movie.
Right. Now I think if you separate them in like photography effects versus like CGI special effects incorporated into like film, I think that it branches right there for the two films. I think Lord of the Rings has far better like use of camera angles and use of like things to really like get you into that film. Versus Pirates of the Caribbean, I think they get the CGI and they get the actual video effects.
Another one that I would put right up there with Pirates of the Caribbean would be the Harry Potter movies.
Harry Potter movies were fucking fantastic. I agree.
You don't necessarily think about that movie for special effects and CGI and things like that, but I think that's what makes it really good. When you think about all the shit that they had to like green screen and
here's the thing,
all the monsters and stuff that's CGI'd in, but it fits. It all just the texturing is right.
I think here's where we need to like establish a reference point for this if this conversation continues.
All right.
We need to think about special effects versus video effects. Special effects would be like what I was saying with Lord of the Rings, camera angles, use of scenery, shit like that to make it look like something different.
Okay.
Video effects would be more like CGI, green screening, color gradings and shit like that. And not even color grading. Color grading is just post editing. But I think we should establish a realm of differential.
I would say that the video effects of Harry Potter is comparable to the video effects of the Pirates of the Caribbean, while the Lord of the Rings series is more camera effects, more special effects in that sense.
Now there's a lot of video effects in Lord of the Rings. I just don't think they're not the same part.
Yeah, not there's not nearly as many. A lot of Lord of the Rings was makeup, to be honest. It was a lot of it was costuming, which was really, really detailed and really awesome. But
well, fuck, even all of dude, one place I really want to go is New Zealand, where they have the whole set and everything, where the film, it's just
how cool
that would be amazing.
How cool would that be?
Yeah.
And I really want to. I would really want to go to the Harry Potter world down at Disney World in Florida. I know that it's not obviously the sets or anything like that, but man, it would just be so cool to be immersed in that. Something that you've watched growing up. We kind of watched this develop. I mean, when did the first one come out? 2001, 2000?
Yeah, I was already drinking. I was of legal drinking age when
I was already okay. So maybe we weren't growing up with it, but
I was going to say I was pretty grown.
Yeah.
Still an amazing film, though.
But yeah, I mean, I guess you kind of saw the characters grow up. I guess is a better way of going over it. But man, I don't know. Did you watch the new Harry Potter, the Fantastic Beasts and whatever?
Yeah. I went. Me and my nephew went. I took him to the movie.
How was that? I never seen it. I haven't seen it yet.
It's a different take. It obviously you can tell it's Harry Potter-esque,
but it doesn't feel like a Harry Potter movie, does it?
Well, it kind of does. It kind of does, but it takes place in America versus England. Okay, and there's subtle differences. They don't call non-magic users Muggles. They call them or non-magi or No-Maj or something like that. It takes place in the 1920s, so it's 75 years before Harry Potter. And it's basically this guy who it's all about this guy. He's coming from England, so he's familiar with he knows. Is it Dumbledore? He knows, but obviously Dumbledore's not who Dumbledore is that we know.
There's no F in Dumbledore.
Dumbledore, whatever. But so he basically comes to America because he is bringing a beast. He's a beast collector. He's bringing him to set him free in Arizona. So he comes to New York, and his bag is basically his house and ranch and estate. So he opens his bag up and goes down in it. It's this world of all these creatures he's collected. And the whole point is the reason why he's doing it is because magic users are trying to kill off these magical beasts. They're they're in danger to society, this and that. We don't understand them. We need to kill them all. And he's all about saving and bringing awareness to these beasts. And it's actually, and obviously some beasts get loose in New York City and cause chaos. And, he teams up with another magic user and a non-magic user, and it's actually really good.
How would you rank it in comparison to the other Harry Potter movies? Is it, obviously you may not, I don't know. I've watched the Harry Potter movies a lot of times, so I know.
I've seen all of them. I've seen all of them through probably a good amount of maybe 4 or 5 times. And I've seen all of it. I would say comparable. I would rather watch this movie versus Chamber of Secrets. Prisoner of Azkaban is when Harry Potter started to take a dark twist, which is it's when it really gets good. Let's see.
That's the third one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, the first 2 is just a bunch of kids figuring out how to use magic, and then you get fucking Sirius Black in, and then that's when shit starts getting dark, when he starts finding out how his parents were killed, why his parents were killed, and then then you have the Goblet of Fire, which is you have the one kid that dies in the events. That shit starts getting really dark, dude.
Alert. Jesus Christ! No,
anybody listening to this has never seen Harry Potter has a problem. So I mean, so Chamber of Secrets. That one wasn't really. I don't remember that one being that dark, but Goblet of Fire was really dark.
Goblet of Fire was one of my least favorites.
Really,
I would say Chamber of Secrets and Goblet of Fire are probably my least 2 favorite of all of them. I like the first one. The first one's super lighthearted.
I thought Goblet of Fire was really good. I thought that one was because the fucking dude dies, And the fucking
Yeah, but
Voldemort
that's
shows
like
up.
the only good part of the whole movie.
No, the whole thing where Voldemort traps him to even be in the part in the fucking contest, like that was ingenious. No one ever thought that was going to happen. Fucking, what was the one? Rise of the Phoenix. I don't remember much of that one.
Order of the Phoenix.
Order of the Phoenix. What happened in that one?
That's the one where the kids group up and have the club, Dumbledore's army.
Oh yeah. That's right. Where Dumbledore was not even in. He's not head of the school anymore.
Right, and that's the one where Dolores Umbridge is headmaster of the school, and Harry Potter is teaching them all how to defend themselves, which is super cool.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
And
then Half-Blood Prince 1 and 2 is fucking amazing.
Well, no, it's Half-Blood Prince. That's the one where, spoiler alert, Snape kills Dumbledore.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last two are, oh my god, what are those? Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Yeah, the 1 and 2.
Those are fucking epic. Those are super good.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna have to rewatch that series again.
I know. Just talking about it makes me want to watch it again. I've got the whole series on Blu-ray. It's super good. It's awesome.
No, you don't have Oh yeah, you did get the whole series.
Yeah, I got the whole series on Blu-ray. It was before they did they have a special edition that you could get with like a wand and like it's in like a chest. It was before they released that, and they had it on sale at Best Buy, and I checked like 4 different Best Buys, and I finally found one like an hour away from where I was living, and I got there and they were like, "Oh, we don't have it," and some other guy was like, "Actually, let me go look in the back," and he found one that they had held for somebody the day before that never showed up, and
nice.
I got that one. But they had it on sale for like $80 for the Blu-ray set, and I was like, "Damn, that's pretty cheap," because it's like 8 films. It's 8 films, isn't it?
I think it's 9.
Is it 9 films?
I think you got what was it? Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire.
It's 8 movies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, but 9
6,
films.
7, 8. No, 8 films. 7 books, 8 films.
Okay.
Yeah, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows 1, Deathly Hallows 2. It's 8. So I basically paid $10 per Blu-ray, which is dirt cheap. I'll take that all day long.
Yeah, shit.
So, well, I think we're about out of news. There's not a whole lot happening. We're just kind of waiting to get the whole crew back together. Hopefully Topher is back next week, and maybe we can talk about Logan. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. I'm not going to see it. I can pretty much guarantee that, but that's all right.
Hopefully I'll have my Nintendo Switch. I can give you the full review.
Yeah, I'm interested. You might have to bring that bitch over here or something.
It's very easy to do. It is a portable /
There you go.
What do they call it?
We can watch Tron and play Switch.
Fuck you up with some Switch.
Who knows? Maybe I'll fucking fire up the barbecue smoker.
Ooh.
You never know.
Now we're talking.
All right. That's it for this episode. I'm Fox2, and as always, pirate.
Peace out, motherfuckers.